Okay, so we are continuing our discussion solution of linear system. So we are currently discussing about the iterative methods. So now today we are going to discuss about the Gauss-Seidel iteration. Okay, so here consider the system with the three equations. So for convenience, I told you we are considering only a system with the three equations. So that is a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus a13 x3, that is equal to b1, a21 x1 plus a22 x2 plus a23 x3, that is equal to b2, a31 x1 plus a32 x2 plus a33 x3 equal to b3. So the initial steps, these are the repetition of last method. So but note this equation. Okay, a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus a13 x3, that is equal to b1, a21 x1 plus a22 x2 plus a23 x3 equal to b2, then a31 x1 plus a32 x2 plus a33 x3 is equal to b3. So this is equation number 1. Now what we have to do? So assume that this one is a system after swapping. Okay, so now what we have to do? Accept the diagonal elements. So here the diagonal elements are a11 x1, a22 x2, a33 x3. So accept the diagonal elements, shift all other elements to right hand side. Okay, so what we have? We have first equation, accept diagonal element, all elements are shifted to right hand side, means a11 x1 is equal to b1 minus a12 x2 minus a13 x3. In second equation, accept a22 x2, all other elements are shifted to right hand side. So we have a22 x2 is equal to b2 minus a21 x1 minus a23 x3. Now from third equation, accept a33 x3, all other elements are shifted to right hand side. So we have a33 x3 is equal to b3 minus a31 x1 minus a32 x2. Okay, so note these three equations and mark it as equation number 2. Mark this set of equations as equation number 2. Okay. So now what is the next step? Divide each equation by the coefficient of its left hand side term. So divide first equation by, means first equation of equation number 2, first sub equation of equation number 2, that is divide that equation by a11. So we have x1 is equal to b1 by a11 minus a12 divided by a11 into x2 minus a13 divided by a11 into x3. Is it okay? So we have, after dividing this first equation by a11, we have x1 is equal to b1 divided by a11 minus a12 divided by a11 into x2 minus a13 divided by a11 into x3. Okay, so this is equation number, the first equation. Now what about the second one? Divide the second one by a22. So we have x2 is equal to b2 divided by a22 minus a21 divided by a22 into x1 minus a23 divided by a22 into x3. So that is second one. Now what about third one? Divide third one by a33. So we have x3 is equal to b3 divided by a33 minus a31 divided by a33 into x1 minus a32 divided by a33 into x2. Okay, so we can label it as equation number 3. So note down these three, note down this set of equation number 3. So this one is a modified equation, right? So now what we have to do? Take the first equation. So in previous method, in Jacobi method, what we are doing? We are labeling the s terms of right hand side, or we are replacing the s terms of right hand side with xn, and we are replacing the x terms of, means left hand side x with xn plus 1, right? So here, take the first equation, replace the right hand side x with n. So we have x2n and x3n, means this one is the current value of x2 and x3, means if the current iteration is n plus 1th iteration, then x2n and x3 are the initial value of that n plus 1th iteration. Okay, so which will give the new value of x1. So this is x1 n plus 1. If we are writing an algorithm, first we will write an equation or algorithm for this one. So substituting x2 and x3n will give x1 n plus 1. Now what about the second equation? If you are writing this second equation, this is x3n, this is x3n, but what about x1? Now a new value is available. So we can substitute this new value into this x1, right? So we can replace this x1 with x1 n plus 1. We can replace this x1 plus x1 n plus 1. Means we are substituting the new value. We are not substituting the value of x1, x2, x3, the nth value of x1, x2, x1. That is Jacobi method. Here we are substituting the latest value. So for this equation, the latest value is x1 n plus 1. So it will give x2 n plus 1. Okay, so please note, in Gauss-Seidel method, we are substituting the latest value. In Jacobi method, we are substituting the nth value. Whether the latest value is available or not, we are not bothering about that. We are substituting the nth value in Jacobi method. In Gauss-Seidel method, we are substituting the latest value. Okay, so this is second equation. Now in third equation, you can see that x1 n plus 1 is available. Okay, x1 n plus 1 is available and x2 n plus 1 is also available. Okay, so x3, so x1 n plus 1 and x2 n plus 1 will give x3 n plus 1. Is it okay? If you are replacing like this way, we can write the first equation as x1 n plus 1 is equal to b1 divided by a11 minus a12 divided by a11 x2n minus a13 divided by a11 x3n. Second equation is x2 n plus 1 is equal to b2 divided by a22 minus a21 divided by a22 into x1 n plus 1 minus a23 divided by a22 into x3n. The third equation is x3 n plus 1 equal to b3 divided by a33 minus a31 divided by a33 into x1 n plus 1 minus a32 divided by a33 into x2 n plus 1. So this is equation number 4. So note down this equation. Okay, so this is equation number 4. So please note the difference between Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel method. In Jacobi method, right hand side we are substituting the values of x after nth iteration. But in Gauss-Seidel method, in right hand side we are substituting the latest value of x. Okay. So once again, in general, we can write xi is equal to bi divided by ai. Okay. So minus sigma j equal to 1 to I minus 1. Okay. So aji divided by aii x j n plus 1, okay, minus sigma k is equal to I plus 1 to n, because if we have n equation, I plus 1 to n, a I comma k, I comma k, I or ik divided by aii, then x k n. So this is the generalized equation. Okay. If it is Jacobi method, we have only one sum, that is sigma j equal to 1 to n, where j not equal to I, a j I divided by a I x j raised to x j n. That is Jacobi method. Okay. So now we can solve a problem by using Gauss-Seidel method. So take the same problem that we used in last class. Solve 6x1 minus 2x2 plus x3, that is equal to 11, x1 plus 2x2 minus 5x3 equal to minus 1, and minus 2x1 plus 7x2 plus 2x3 equal to 5. Okay. So in last class I told you the actual solution is x equal to column vector 2 1 1, column vector. Okay. So if you are writing this equation as such, we have 6x1 minus 2x2 plus x3. Okay. So that is equal to 11. Now x1 plus 2x2, okay, minus 5x3 equal to minus 1. Then minus 2x1 plus 7x2, okay, plus 2x3 equal to 5. So here, if you are comparing the x1 coefficient 6, 1, then minus 2. These are the coefficients of x1. So 6 is the largest element, right? So we can write 6x1 minus 2x2 plus x3 equal to 11. So this equation is considered. Now compare the remaining two equations. So if you are comparing the coefficient of x2, 2 and 7, magnitude point of view 2 and 7. So 7 is the largest one. So we have to consider this equation. So last equation. So we have minus 2 x1 plus 7 x2 plus 2 x3, that is equal to that is equal to 5. So this equation is considered. Now compare the coefficient of x3. So here we have only one equation. So that is second equation. So we can take it as a third equation in this case. So this is x1 plus 2x2 minus 5x3, that is equal to minus 1. So this one is a new system after swapping. Okay. So this is the first step that you have to do. Okay. So namukku continue. So first we have to swap the equation. So 6x1 minus 2x2 plus x3 is equal to 11, first equation. Then we have to take minus 2x1 plus 7x2 plus 2x3 equal to 5. Then this one x1 plus 2x2 minus 5x3 equal to minus 1. Now what we have to do? No, before that we have to move all elements except the diagonal elements to right hand side. Okay. So better before doing that, just circle the diagonal elements. Okay, so these are the diagonal elements. So except these diagonal elements, shift all other elements to right hand side. So do it. 6x1, that is equal to 11 plus 2x2 minus x3. So that is first one. Now second one we have 7x2. Okay, that is equal to 5 plus 2x1 minus 2x3. Now third one we have minus 5x3, that is equal to minus 1 minus x1 minus 2x2. So I think all of you have the same thing. Okay. So now what we have to do? Now you can divide a particular equation by its diagonal element. So this is the left hand side, we have the diagonal elements. Okay. So divide the entire equation by the diagonal that element. Means first equation by 6, second equation by 7, third equation by minus 5. X1 is equal to x1 is equal to 1.833 plus 0.333 x2 minus 0.167 x3. I told you use 3 significant digits. So if you are using 3 significant digits, this one will be minus 0.167 x3. Now x2 is equal to 0.714 plus 0.286 x1 minus 0.286 x3, and third equation is x3 is equal to 0.2 plus 0.2 x1 plus 0.4 x2. Okay, so this is equation number 2. So now what we have to do, take the first one, replace the right hand side with x2n and x3n, which will give x1n plus 1. Okay. So now take the second one, x3 is x3n, but x1, we have x1n plus 1 is available. So here we have x1n plus 1, which will give x2n plus 1. Okay. Similarly, here in this equation, x1n plus 1 is available. x2n plus 1 is also available. So which will give x3n plus 1. Okay. So we have, so this equation will become x1n plus 1 is equal to 1.833 plus 0.333 x2n minus 0.167 x3n. x2n plus 1 is equal to 0.714 plus 0.286 x1n plus 1 minus 0.286 x3n. Third one is x3n plus 1 is equal to 0.2 plus 0.2 x1n plus 1 plus 0.4 x2n plus 1. So note this equation. So I think you can simply replace x2 with x2n, x3 plus x3n like that way. There is no need to write it again. Okay. So anyway, this one is the equation that we are going for iterative that we are going to use for iterative purpose, right? So we have to draw a table. This is iteration x1, x2, x3. Okay. So during the 0th iteration, before starting the iteration, the initial conditions are 0, 0, 0. These are the initial conditions. So draw the table. Write this one as iteration number x1, x2, x3. Then during the 0th iteration, it means before starting the iteration, we have initial conditions x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, x3 is equal to 0. Okay. So do it. Okay. So now we are going to start the Gauss-Seidel iteration. So during the first iteration, that is here, this is the first iteration. So now what is the value of x1? So if you are using this equation, what is the value of x2? x2 is 0. Right? This is the value of x2. Okay. What is the value of x3? Value of x3 is 0. So substitute 0 here, substitute 0 here. So what we have? 1.833 plus 0.33 into 0 minus 0.167 into 0. So we have 1.833. Is it okay? Yes. So this is value of x1. Is it okay? Now what about x2? For x2, you can see that we need value of x1 and value of x3, but new value of x1 is available. So we have to use this value. But x3, new value is not available. The latest value is this 0. Okay. So please note, we are not using this x1 value. This one is our old one. We have new value available. So we have to use 1.833 as x1. Then for x3, we have to use 0. So x2n plus 1 is 0.714 plus 0.286 into 1.833 minus 0.286 into 0, this 0. So what is the value? Here we have 1.238. So that is the value of x2. Now we are going to find x3. So for x3, we need x1. So this is the latest value of x1. Now we need x2, and this is the latest value of x2. So what is x3 is equal to 0.2 plus 0.2 into 1.833 plus 0.4 into 1.238. So what is the value? 1.062 for me. 1.062. Is it okay? So now find the remaining values. So continue this iteration. So now we are going to start the second iteration. So for second iteration, x1 have x2 and x3. So we need to use this x2 and this x3. These are the latest value. Okay. So find it. I told you this Jacobi method and Gauss-Seidel method are actually fixed point iteration. So rate of this one is actually linearly converging method. So what is rate of convergence? Magnitude of En plus 1 is equal to k into magnitude of En all raised to p, where p is the rate of convergence. So here p is equal to 1. But the difference is the k value is little bit small. Okay. So that is advantage. If k is small, the speed will increase. So even if it is linearly converging, you can see the number of iteration is small in Gauss-Seidel method. Okay. So a small number of steps are a little bit small here. Okay. So I am continuing this one quickly. So try to do this one. Okay. So if you are finding, so during the second iteration, the value of x1 is calculated by using 1.238 and 1.062, that is this x2n and x3n. So we have 2.069. Okay, for me x1 value is 2.069. Now in order to find x2, we need x1 and x3. So we have to use 2.069 and 1.062. Okay, so this is 2.069 and this is 1.062. So we have 1.002. Okay, so that one is a new value of x2. Now in order to find x3, we need x1 n plus 1, x2 n plus 1, means we need the new value of x1 and new value of x2. So we have, so this is 2.069 and this is 1.002. We have x3 is equal to 1.015. Okay. Now the next iteration, we have this x1 n plus 1. In order to find x1 n plus 1, we need x2 n, that is this value, and this value, that is x3. So by using these two values here and here, we have x1 n plus 1 is equal to 1.998. Okay. So this is x1 n plus 1. So now in order to find x2 n plus 1, so in order to find x2 n plus 1, we need x1 n plus 1, that is this value, and we need x3 n, that is this value. These are the latest value of x1 and x2. So it will give 0.995. Okay. So now what about x3? In order to calculate x3, we need x1 n plus 1, that is this latest value, and x2 n plus 1, this latest value. So this one will give x3 is equal to 0.998. Okay. So now in order to calculate x1 n plus 1, now fourth iteration, in order to calculate x1 n plus 1, we need x2 n, that is 0.995, and we need x3 n, that is 0.998. So it will give 1.9, 1 and 1, means after fourth iteration we have 1.999, 1 and 1. Okay. Now after the fifth iteration, we have 2, 1 and 1. So if you are analyzing the convergence, in some case I told you the iteration method will not converge. Okay, so at that point, what you have to do? First, you have to swap first you have to check whether the equations are swapped or not. Okay. After swapping, so swapping means the diagonal elements are the largest elements in that particular equation, means compared to the sum of remaining elements, the diagonal element must be the largest element. In some situation, we can't do that, okay, in some situation, but try to at least swap the equation by comparing the x1 coefficient, then x2 coefficient, etc. Okay. So if you are checking the Jacobi equation, I told you xi is equal to bi divided by aii minus ai1 divided by aii into x1 minus ai2 divided by aii x2 minus etc. So this one is the ith equation. Am I correct? So if you are analyzing the convergence, okay, if you are analyzing the convergence, then ai1, magnitude of ai1 divided by aii plus magnitude of ai2 divided by aii plus etc. plus magnitude of ain divided by aii must be less than 1. So this one is very important. If it is less than 1, definitely we can say the method is converging. Otherwise, we can't say whether it is converging or not. It depends upon the g dash of x. Okay, I told you this right hand side is g dash of x, so it is depending upon that. But if it is less than 1, definitely we can say this given system is converging after swapping. Okay, so please note, if this left hand side is less than 1, so we can modify this equation. So after modification, we can write if the sum of the magnitude of components s of the diagonal element, if it is less than the magnitude of diagonal element, means if magnitude of ai1 plus magnitude of ai2 plus etc. plus magnitude of ain, if it is less than magnitude of aii, definitely you can say the given system is convergent. Okay, so please note down this equation. If magnitude of ai1 plus magnitude of ai2 plus etc. plus magnitude of ain less than magnitude of aii, then the given system is converging.